Hello everyone, my name is Alex Trebek, historical monument, better known as Hearst Castle. As we will pass a large Spanish-style house built in the 19th. Hundreds of glamorous in the 1920s and 30s. But imagine Mr. Hearst first as young, following his father along the winding bridle path that would a hilltop that was often sunny when the fog shrouded the coast during the summertime. Later in life, Mr. Hearst said that the road was so steep and the way so rocky that he only managed by hanging on to the tail of my beast looking for gold. The geology that caused these steep hills to rise from the ocean floor millions of years ago was the same factor that brought precious minerals like gold, silk surface, allowing them to wash down the high mountain creeks of the west. 1862, and their only child Willie was born in 1863. Tawny animals that resemble mountain goats. They are known as augads and are descendants of Mr. Hearst's 100,000 square hectares. You will also see the Chumash and Salinan peoples who lived there for over 9,000 years. It was claimed by Spain after 1769, and then settled ranchers during a brief period of Mexican ownership. California joined the United States in 1850, soon after gold was discovered. George Hearst bought 3 ranchos and continued to run cattle on the hilly expanse, largely black and red Angus. Cattle graze much as they always have, and depending on the season, you may see them on the hillsides. Mother Phoebe died, his father having passed away earlier. William inherited this land he had loved nearly all his life, and immediately hired a talented and singular architect. Walking into Miss Morgan's office and announcing, for that, I'm thinking of building a little something. Well, his little something became this estate of more than 165 rooms, and he chose to build it on the bridle path, and also to bring water from the natural springs that were located on a mountain almost 6 miles east of this hilltop. To this day, water provided to the estate comes from the same one point. Hot, dry summers and cool, wet winters, a perfect setting for the native oak trees known as coastal live oaks, or Quercus agrifolia, massive oak out of the way as the castle grew. You'll notice the hills filled these pastures with these exotic animals. His guests traveling this year, and Roosevelt Hill eat much coyotes, as well as the large black birds that soar through the skies, known as turkey vultures, and Julia Morgan called Casa Grande, which means big house in Spanish, now commonly referred to as the castle. The road was designed. Upon reaching the top of the hill, we will travel through a landscaped area filled with fruit trees, which supplied some of the food in Hearst's time at the ranch. He grew nearly all his food on site, including beef, poultry, dairy products, and fruits and vegetables. You may also see the longest pergola in captivity. While on tour, please touch only the handrails of concrete and black iron, and avoid touching or leaning against any other objects. When inside the buildings, please remain on the tour carpeting. Flash photography is allowed outdoors only. Please turn off your flash when you go inside the buildings. Your tour will take a one-way route over the hilltop without doubling back, so be sure to take your photographs. It must be obtained for publication. Please turn off your cell phones or put them on mute. Bottled water is allowed, but no.
We're that history of the land. when this was built, it's 1920. That was intended for some pipes and water fountain. And so this is the medium-sized guest house. It's got 8 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms. So if you look on over here, and so it was a long, arduous road trip to get to San Simeon. And when you're tired, you might need accommodations. So this is one of the 3 guest cottages. 3 goes this way. So over here, can you all see there's a gold lady? Yeah. All right. There's a reason I'm always bringing you to find the temple called Chinatown. So the people that built all this, they were paid breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They were paid. And then the idea of a castle. Okay. So the number one thing to do in San Simeon is go see the elephant seals. Now, not everybody wants to spend $35 to come see top. They would dictate that we can never finish anything. So check out. There's an octagon on the left and an octagon on deep over here. Where the lady is standing in her birthday suit, it's 6. This pool was leaking in 2014. It will cost $10 million in 4 years at this pool. So check out her hair when we get closer. In Roman mythology, it said that she's born as a full-bodied woman from mermen are one of a kind. When we get closer, please look down and check them out. But as we up here until 76, no longer are they living here. But guess who puts the bill? The state of California. And so out of 280 California state parks, it's what makes. We've been maintaining it since 1958. You can see how it's different. So when you look straight down, this is 6 feet deep. No algae.
Oh, wow.
It was quite mind-boggling to understand how long, how much, and why did it take. Through 2014, we will donate $250K tax relief. Big one, Spartacus. The lady on the right, they're different. So the one on the left holds a sea cow, and the one lives landscape. We go horseback riding in 1930. We go swimming in the 1930s. By 1935, people know a lot has happened. And so who's who in America? Walt Disney, Greta Garbo, Sir Winston Churchill. People that are coming up, we don't know each other, but we might run into each other in the rose garden. So we're going to create on the line through. It'll lead you from the north side to the south side. With one of 9 sarcophagus. But this thing,
It's my phone much better. My phone.
I'm stopping. That is very nice. The right of that, a little dark landmass over the clouds, that's the elbow of California. Point Arts land, that pier that you see there, the original pier was built north of it, just to the right. And there are warehouses down, and that point was a Portuguese whaling station, shut down by Hearst's mother. Now, Hearst's mother was an art collector who would fund archaeological digs to Egypt. Hearst's mother was a philanthropist. Emily will approach the University of Berkeley and knock on the door and ask him if they want Hearst Castle. 100-year-old Spanish individuals that are supposed to be protecting the entrance. To the left and the right of the wild man, there's a man holding St. Paul, and on the right, St. Peter. Stop. So, the theater's going to be into the theater after dinner. Was it?
That's what she was.
Who might want to admire in that or have at home? Christianity, Hearst is shopping for tables, chairs, ashtrays, wall paneling, places that were homes in Italy, and now some pieces of plaster. So let me give you an example. Can you all see the color? His mother was a teacher, and mom was also. Now, he also would encounter people who don't know how to read. So can you all identify what's happening? B, C, and D, they're from the 1500s. They are 27 feet long. They weigh over 200 pounds, and they are covering over bare wall. Fire mantles. Hearst will write to Julia Morgan from New York saying the following words. She's based in San Francisco. So if you can just step towards the carpet border, once you are able to get your picture. Now the flooring that you see is travertine instead of the blue tar carpet. Now, when you see these chairs, can you see, lean forward? That's what I'm trying to get you to step up. Hyde is a bargain shopper. And when you see things, he will purchase things that when the art is following the money's in New York. And you got Rockefellers, you got Carnegies, you got Hearst. You see above us here is St. George slaying the dragon. Believe that fireman is here around Siena, Town Square. These represent districts, guilds. And when you win the race, the horse has to win the race first. From everything. So the choir stalls are from churches, and it's just decorative. It would have been where church choir on the side. So on the right, more church, or more, excuse me, more Christian. Place would be fun to get lost. So there's 115 rooms. And every single room is decorated with something. But this one took a little longer. When you look at the whole room, notice how the perimeter of the ceiling is. Miss Morgan knows American art dealers that are in Spain. They are trying to buy off ceiling. And there's a picture with that great horn down. I could hide, I could go out here, I could leave, go up to the rooms, and I could come out back through that. And so, but notice the thickness size. And that includes the basement below us, 11,000 square feet of basement. And so that's where there's original things down in the basement. If you want to see that, type in Hearst Vault on YouTube. Now that I'm going to play the movie. It's John Gilbert, and here's another silent film star, Dolores. Some like horse meat, some like beef. The kangaroos and wallabies, the animals were fed closer to the road so they would get used to the cars. Smallest bell. The pool is below the tennis court. Here's daylight enters into the shallow pool. When we go down,
We still have more to see as we travel down the hilltop. To minimize the possibility of collisions and to provide mountains known as the Santa Lucia Coast Range. It runs parallel to the Pacific Ocean along the central region of California. To your left, you will again see the remnants of the pergola, columned arbors for walking and horseback riding.